So this is what ServiceNow looks like. So basically what integration is. So everyone has a basic knowledge of client script, business rule, UI policies, all that stuff, or anybody doesn't have the knowledge on that? Because it might be used in here in the coding stuff. That's why.
The basics we know.
So yeah. So basically this is a demo classes. So here I will be telling you about the basic of integrations, what all integrations which we will be learning, and how this integration work from ServiceNow to ServiceNow instance, or ServiceNow to third party. Third party may be anything, Jira, uh, what do you call, other ticketing tools, BMC Remedy, or any other tools, how we can configure all that, how we will send data from one ServiceNow instance to another ServiceNow instance. And then we will see SSO integration, LDAP integrations. LDAP means getting the users from cloud to the ServiceNow instance. So all these we will learn. Even we will learn inbound, outbound integrations. So basically what integration is, let's take an example. We have two instances, like we have a source A. Let's give it as a source A, or you can say ServiceNow first party. And this is, let's take an example, you source B, ServiceNow or third party. So what this integration is something that allow you to communicate between the two instances, source A and source B. So if you want to get communicated, how you will do that? So integrations comes into picture. So like now we are connecting via Zoom. So this is the integration of our audio with this third party Zoom, and you are just receiving it at your side, at your destination side. So this is what integrations work. So how this is working, how this is working in ServiceNow, we will see that. So what happened in the integration? So when I am sending a data from source A to source B, so I am getting a response back from source B in the form of HTTP response, that is 200 or 400. You might be familiar about it. 200 means success, 400 means bad request. So whenever we are going to communicate between any two instances or any two third party or within the system itself, so in that case, we will be using the integrations. So here what we will be using, we will be using ServiceNow to ServiceNow, ServiceNow to third party. Third will be LTAP. Sorry, LTAP. 4 will be SSO. So what is this integration? So something which we want to communicate between the two instances, or what you call two server or two end parties. So there we will use integrations to get the data from one instance and get a response back from other instance simultaneously, vice versa. You can expect the same. So suppose we have any one application. Let's take an example. There are two applications. So this is a source A, ServiceNow, and let's take one more example. That may be ServiceNow or any third party. Any third party or any server also, mid servers and all. So what scenario is, we need to send data from source A to source B, or we need to get a communication between source A to source B, so that once the data is integrated into the system, the flow of the request and response comes to our instance. So what it happened is, ServiceNow send a request to source A, and okay, brother, I am just hitting your server, hitting your instance. Just I want a response back so that we can establish a connection. So in this case, source B will send a response. Response will be in the form of HTTP response. That is same as which you have might have learned in Java or basics of service now. HTTP response, like 200, 400, 401, 500, or 201. So this is something, the response which is predefined by ServiceNow, which we will learn about this. Just an example I'm telling you. So 200 is something, the response is success. 400 is something that a bad request. 500 is something which you might have seen internal server error or something. So this is the response which we are receiving from the source B, that is a destination. So if the connection is established, then we can do a lot of things over the ServiceNow instances. Like we will get a data from my ServiceNow instance to other ServiceNow instance. I can send data from my instance. Even I can update that. So this is what integration is. Then we will learn what all are there in the integration. We will learn inbound. We will learn outbound. Any doubt you are having, just let me know. SOAP, REST, ServiceNow to ServiceNow, how the data is communicating, ServiceNow. We will learn ServiceNow to third party, any third party, which is freely available as of now. So Jira, I'll take example of Jira, Jira one. Now we'll see LDAP. So this will brush up your skills on ServiceNow. ServiceNow integrations, and then you can do a lot of stuff related to integration. Here we will be having one more, table APIs. Table APIs, that's nothing but scripted REST APIs. So here we will be learning the coding part, what coding which you will be doing on the integration end, how you will be setting the data, how you are getting the response, everything we will be setting up. So let's start with the basic of what integration is. So as I told you, integration is something that a communication between the two instances, how the communication is going to establish. So basically there are two type of integrations, inbound and outbound. Inside that inbound and outbound, these other things false. So what is inbound? If you see this image here, so source A and source B. So if let's take a new one. So take a new one. So let's do boxes. So this is Snow A and this is Snow B. Snow B or third party, whatever you want to say. So what happened? I am telling about inbound. So how this inbound works. So I will provide you the PPT and the description and the content also, but now I just a brief I am giving you. So inbound. So in inbound, what will happen? This third party, this Snow B, will ask your source instance. Means third party is asking your source Snow A, that is called source application, to give the response. It means that other application may call to ServiceNow. So this is source. So this other application may be third party, maybe so other ServiceNow instance or any other server or application or mid server. So other application may call to ServiceNow to get information. So what we need here, why they are communicating? To get some info. Or creation of table, incident, or anything. Just take an example in ServiceNow. So third party makes call to ServiceNow, source ServiceNow. So this is called inbound. What will be the outbound then? Outbound is something that ServiceNow may call to other application. So outbound. So this will be the basic thing which we will be using in entire integration. So this will be a fundamental part, what is inbound and what is outbound, because you may get the requirement from the client that please configure the inbound integration into your ServiceNow instance. So inbound, if you hear this word inbound, then what comes to your mind first is, okay, third party or ServiceNow will make calls to our instance. Means suppose your client is Airbus. Let's take an example. And Airbus is asking you to create an inbound REST integration. So what you will do means Airbus client is asking your instance, your company instance, your ServiceNow instance to establish a communication. So that will be the inbound. That's opposite of inbound is this outbound, where source, this is destination you or third party. So source means you are communicating with Airbus. Airbus is not communicating with you. Airbus will only send the response back. In this case, first case inbound, you will send the response back. Where's the back arrow? Yeah, you will send the response back. This is the response. In this case, outbound, Airbus will send the response back to you. So this is the basic difference between inbound and outbound. Inbound is something that third party will make call to ServiceNow API, REST API, to get information or to create any record or delete any record or update any record via integrations. Outbound is something that ServiceNow, this ServiceNow will make calls to other application to get API information. So this will be the base for your entire ServiceNow app integration, which we will be using. So let's go back to our instance. So this is a ServiceNow instance. So you will see if you write here inbound, you will see under system web services, you can make it favorite. So you have inbound, create inbound options there. So if you're going to create the new inbound, you will see a lot of things here. Let's reload it. So let's save it, just a demo. I will not show you today how the data is following. And suppose so this is the inbound form which open us. So this is a label which you will be providing your own integration name, how whatever the provided by client or whatever. For example, I am giving you demo, and this is the application which is a global. Why it is global? Because it can be used by everyone. But as per your client requirement, this can be changed to other application. So, but I have selected here global. That's why you can see it a global application. Suppose your client is using any custom application, then you need to select those custom application there. So this is my personal instance, which I am showing you the demo. And yeah, you can see copy field to target table. What does this mean is whatever the target table I am selecting, incident. So we need to copy the data from one instance to another. In that case, you need to check this box out. Or if you want, if no, then you need to add the what you call the columns here, so that it will get created. So better we will be using this copy to target table, and whatever the data which we need, we will modify it in a script and we will send it. So as of now, just for a demo, you just understood this is a inbound form which I have created, where you will see few fields here like label that will give your inbound name, your target table name on which the integration need to happen, or any table. This can be a custom table, this can be your case table, this can be your HR module table, whatever. So you can give the table name, and you need to click on this checkbox, create transform map, because without transform map, we cannot map the variables. Yeah, you can see this is created. So you can see there is two options here. Auto match field. Why this auto match field appears here? Because I have checked that transform map. And you have to check that transform map, because without that, you won't be able to map that variable to the target table, because integration will happening to ServiceNow based on table. ServiceNow is nothing but table and column. It's a database of tables and column which we where we store the record. It's nothing but a database like select start from incident. The same way we are. That's why we have used that transform map checkbox there. And if you click on this auto map, it will do the auto mapping, or you can do the map assist. So click on this auto map. You can see a field map created. So in this way, the all the fields which are there, it is created and it is mapped. So if you see this form, sys underscore transform map is a table name. So if you see here, there's an option called run script. Here you can write your logic before doing any integration. Suppose if you want to make any field to populate auto population, or any field to be mandatory or anything visible, you can do it from this script before getting data loaded into the system. So once the data is loaded, you cannot write a run script. So once if you write this run script and if you are doing the integrations, so at that time this run script will come into picture and it will check for the conditions, which all conditions which you will be giving. So basically here you can write server side scripting. Why? Because this script, server side and client side, again, I think you people know server side is something that we write because we need to get data from the databases. Server side always sit on the back end of the form or table, and the client side is something that appears on the browser which you are seeing, like you use your Facebook browser. So that's a client side, and whatever the data you are sending, like you are sending somebody hi message and data gets stored in the database, that is nothing but a server side. So there you will manipulate the databases. So how you will find out whether this is a server side scripting or a client side? You can see they have defined as a function transform row. For that you need to see this update log map. These kind of things we will be using in business rules, and again business rules is server side scripting. So that's why this script is here is server side scripting. So here you can write your own code, like you need to glide to the incident table. So anybody know about how this coding works here, like glide record and anything? What is this glide? Like suppose I'm writing here select start from table incident. You might have heard about this SQL query, correct? So
Yeah.
this is nothing but select start from incident. Select start from incident is nothing but this one. So in ServiceNow, language is different, but the work ServiceNow is doing is same as SQL. So what we are doing here, we are just querying this particular table, incident table, and we are doing the coding stuff. Like if you want to get, like suppose x dot query, and if you want a record which are active in the incident table, so we can write active comma true, because that's a boolean value. Then you can make x dot query. Then you have to put if x dot next. Just an example I am telling you. This is how you need to do the coding in transform map table in inbound integration. And then here you can give your own coding, like what do you require? Like you want some messages to be displayed when the integration happens, or it's all up to you, like gs dot add in info message, whatever. Hi, I am new to integration. So this message will be displayed once we will see this in the upcoming classes, how these messages are flowing, how these things are happening. So this is what transform map is. There's one more option called map assist. Let's save this first. So yeah, this is inbound. Again, if you type outbound here, you will see system web services outbound. Outbound, we have, I told you, SOAP message, REST message. This is log, which we will discuss. What is this HTTP log? Like 200 messages, 400 messages will be stored here. This HTTP status code, which we used to call. So we have a SOAP message, we have a REST message. What is the difference between SOAP and REST? Anybody has an idea? Yeah. In integrations, basically of two type, inbound and outbound. In that inbound and outbound, we have REST and SOAP again. REST is something which is represents representation state transfer. So that's something use a JSON format. JSON is something. Let me open the notepad. I will see. You might have seen this key and the value like this format, like incident, and you will see the incident number INC 1234. So whatever the things which you are getting using JSON, we will be using in REST. Whatever the thing which we are getting using XML. XML is nothing but a hierarchy structure. Like you will see like this kind of HTML. Like suppose HTML, we have the tag tr and the. So these are all the tree structure. SOAP messages will follow. REST will follow JSON format, and SOAP will follow XML. XML is nothing but a hierarchy structure of a tree which contains parent-child relationships. Like header, it has a header, it has a body, it has a sub body, the sub body part, then the header get closed. But in this case, in JSON case, we have only two parts, key and value. If key matches the value, then JSON will work. If key doesn't matches the value, then JSON will not work. So in this case, we always use REST. The companies and a client always uses REST, and most of the client are now shifting from SOAP to REST, but we will see here both, because REST is easy to identify because it has key value pair. If a key matches the value, means lock matches the key, then the lock will open the same way. Okay, so this is the basic of integration which I